argument saying that Kawhi Leonard is a system player is now officially dead. Yo, what is up guys? Back here for the Day 3 NBA recap. Not as much happened last night as the night before, or maybe not even as the first night, but there was still some pretty juicy stuff to talk about here. The Bulls proving that they can actually shoot the ball, and Kawhi Leonard's dominance continues. Alright, let's start off by talking about Kawhi, because I had to talk about Kawhi real quick. Some people still weren't convinced that Kawhi Leonard was a bona fide superstar. Some people still didn't see Kawhi Leonard as the front runner to win the MVP. How about now? He started off the season with back-to-back 30-point games. I think this is like the first time in his career, correct me if I'm wrong, Spurs fan, if he goes back-to-back 30-point games. I know 35 was his career high the other day. Back-to-back 30-point games. He put the San Antonio Spurs on his back. People saying that he was a system player. He got his points from within the system. Kawhi Leonard was the San Antonio Spurs system last night. The man was going one-on-one. He was making shots for himself. How is that? That is not what a system player is. On defense, he managed somehow to get even better. I'm not quite sure how Kawhi Leonard gets better on defense, but he did. He's at the point now where players are squaring up to the basket in triple threat position, and then this is what he does to them. He looks them dead in the eye, looks down to the ball, he looks them dead in the eye again, and yank. He literally yanks the ball out of people's hands while they're just squared up in triple threat position. You know how disrespectful that is? You're another NBA player, right? You got the ball like this, and then you're just gonna see Kawhi Leonard pop. That is all kinds of disrespectful. His freaking hands are so big. His hands are so big, plus his grip strength, plus his actual strength, like, there's almost nothing you can do about it. It's at the point now where if you're an offensive player, you can't even let Kawhi Leonard know you have the ball. You have to try and convince him that you don't have the ball, or else you're not gonna have the ball for very long. 30 points and 5 steals last night. I got a question for you guys. Do you think Kawhi Leonard will average around 27 to 28 points per game this year? Honestly, it's looking like he just might. And if he does that, then there's no doubt in my mind that he is going to win MVP. He doesn't even have to do that, but that's just icing on the cake. No one can dominate the game both offensively and defensively like Kawhi Leonard. Absolutely no one else in the league can do that right now on a nightly basis. It's honestly scary how good Kawhi Leonard's gonna be. If he keeps improving at the rate he does, it's gonna be terrifying. Moving on though, Boogie Cousins dominated. He had a pretty slow game his first game. When the Kings beat the Suns, Marcus Cousins didn't have like a great game, but he had a monster game, 37 points and 16 rebounds. Chicago Bulls proving they can shoot. Yo, the Celtics were literally daring the Chicago Bulls to shoot. You guys had to shoot to beat us, and the Chicago Bulls were shooting and they beat the Celtics. Dwayne Wade would be at the 3-point line, and the defender would be at the free throw line, and that's how much room they were giving Dwayne Wade. And Dwayne Wade honestly just looked at them, squared up, looked at his feet, and splash. I'm sure Dwayne Wade felt so disrespected because they were letting Dwayne Wade shoot all night long, and he was knocking them down all night long. Dwayne Wade's not stupid. He saw the roster, he was like, yo, we need some shooting on this team. So I'm sure during the offseason that's what he was doing. He was shooting every night in the gym. I'm sure that's what Dwayne Wade was doing. I'm sure that's what he told Jimmy Butler to do. I'm sure that's what Rajon Rondo was doing, even though Rajon Rondo was like one for freaking infinity in that game. Isaiah Thomas and Avery Bradley had pretty good games. Isaiah Thomas once again had like a 20, I think he had like a 27-point game the other night. Then he had a 25-point game this night. So, you know, he is balling out this season. And then the last thing I kind of really want to talk about is the Clippers versus Blazers. The Clippers won. It was a really good game. It was a close game throughout. The Clippers won. And the reason the Clippers won is because of their bench. Maurice Spates and look at Jamal Crawford. Those two guys off the bench combined for 30 points. The whole Blazers bench maybe got you like 15 to 20 points. Dame Lillard once again had a really good game. He was rebounding really well this season, by the way. And for the Clippers, both Blake Griffin and Chris Paul had really good offensive games. Chris Paul didn't get a lot of assists, but he was scoring the ball really well. That was a pretty good game, and you know, that's another series that will probably go down sometime in this year's playoffs, and that's going to be a really good series. And then the Hawks beat the Wizards. I was watching that game. Nothing really worth mentioning. John Wall got a bunch of assists, but he had a terrible night shooting the ball. Paul Millsap went out there, did his thing. That's about it for Day 3. Let me know what you guys thought about this day down in the comment section below. Until tomorrow, Team SDC, keep getting the buckets, and I'm out of here. Peace!